Yo, so I'm out here chilling today. Not really chilling. My mental, it's going haywire. But there's a reason for that. So here I am thinking about everything from the last year, all of 2019, back to about middle 2018. Why? Some people say you shouldn't rehash history. If I don't rehash history, I won't learn from the mistakes I've made. I won't think about the problems that have come into my life, why they came into my life, how I allowed certain things to bother me. There are a lot of different examples I can use, but we're going to keep this motivational. So, the best example I can use is people. Sometimes you have a great idea. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes you have ideas that are just, absolutely ridiculous. Don't use them. Sometimes you have an idea that's just pure genius. Pure genius. It's going to make you a lot of money. It's going to put you where you need to be. It's going to take thoughts out of your mind and you write them all down on paper. And when you realize that one idea has been on your mind for how long now? You've been thinking about it for what? A year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe even the last 24 hours you thought about it. When you wrote that idea down on paper, what did you do next? Some people, when they write ideas down on paper, they just leave them there. They take the notebook, they throw it onto the table. That's it. I'm going to share something with y'all. I have a book that I wrote the word vision board. The reason why? Because it's my vision. They're thoughts and anticipated feelings that I have personally. Why is that important? Don't you have the same thing? Haven't you ever thought of an idea that you thought was just, man, the bomb? This idea has to work. It was so vivid in your mind, you could literally grab it. Like you could see it out of your eyes, but your mind was playing it over and over and over again. And you went to your family members and said, yo, I have this great idea. And your family member said, man, you ain't get no great idea. You're going to be in the same place as us. Still living off of public housing. Still going to the 9-to-5 job. Breaking your tail. Constantly running that rat race. That little wheel that spins over and over and over again in the hamster cage. It's the same thing. All of a sudden you put your head down. You go back to the drawing board. You say, man, God, I thought that was the one. Here's the problem. You know that's the one. You do. You know that deep down inside, that was your idea. You went to your family or your friends or your loved ones because you wanted to share your exciting news. You had the vision. That vision was so clear to you, you could taste already the product before it became formed. That's how God works, God works in the exact same way. God said, I made you fearfully and wonderfully. Before I put you in the womb, I knew you. Wow. No seed does God plant comes back to him without coming to fruition. It has developed roots. You see this video right now, right? Look at the tree behind me. That tree rooted itself deep down inside. It grew out. Every seed, when you plant it, it focuses towards the sun. Photosynthesis. It needs the sun to feed. It needs the water that comes from above to grow out. That soil that your family threw on you, telling you you ain't gonna be nothing, it ain't gonna work, man, that's a crazy idea. Let them. You need that soil, you need that dirt to cover you over, to firmly ground you so you can grow out. You gotta take root in order for that plant to grow out and begin to start vegetation, begin to provide fruit. Most people don't understand that. And that's the problem with most people these days. The best thing you can do is listen to that voice in your head. You know, that one telling you go out and do it. That one telling you, come on, I gave it to you. I didn't give it to them. The reason why I didn't give it to them is because they don't believe in me the same way you do. They think that life is all going to be the same all the time. But that's the problem. When you keep on thinking about that, focusing on their thoughts, you know what happens? You become a product of your environment. Their thoughts are always going to be the same as long as they keep on with the same mentality. The definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, a constant revolving cycle, and never changing it. Expecting the same results, the different results from doing the same thing over and over again. You got to learn how to adapt. You learn how to change. Religion's the same way. Keep going to church and hearing the same thing, you're going to be a product of the same thought. You got to learn to change this. God works with this. He always works with this. Remember, the spirit is eager, but the flesh, this body is weak. Stop paying attention to the weakness. Pay attention to the strong aspect of things. Let God be your rock. Let Yahweh do what He needs to do with you. He needs to mold you. But He can't mold you if you keep on telling your vision that He gave you to the same people who live a redundant life every single day. It just doesn't work. Don't believe me? Keep listening to the naysayers. Your family, your friends. You might have a job right now. Idea came to your mind. Yo, let me tell you. I could do this, and that. And then people looking at you like, man, you ain't doing nothing. You wanna know why? Because even though they have a job, they're still not doing nothing. Having a job doesn't mean you're progressing. It just means you're working to make a paycheck. Progressing means that you're changing your mindset constantly. I'm going to wrap this up, but the point I'm saying is you have to experience who you are, who God made you to be. If not, you're wasting your time. Not just yours, you're wasting God's time. Yahweh said, I'll put you here to give a blessing to others. You know that term that they use on the back of the dollar bill, e pluribus unum? In Latin, that means out of one, many. What are you going to do with that? Out of you is going to come a millionaire family. Your children, your aunts, your uncles, all those people are going to benefit from the God-given vision you have. It's not always just for you. Don't be a generational thief. Motivate yourself. Do you hear me? I said motivate yourself. Can you hear me? Motivate you. I love y'all.